People driving through this area would never realize that there are homeless people in the area. But even the majority of people living in the county would not realize it, because the people who are homeless don't go out into the open. They're not seen. They're basically unseen. Prior to Graceplace, I have no idea of where people who are homeless could go for help, since Graceplace has basically been filled since it opened. I'm still wondering how many other people couldn't get in.
St. Croix County in Wisconsin is one of the richest counties in the state. 1,088 single individuals live in poverty in St. Croix County.
Well, I led a pretty normal life. I was married, had 2 children. My third was on his way. And suddenly one day it all changed when my husband left, and I was left pregnant to pretty much take care of myself and the children I had.
I had 3 prison sentences. After being in prison and my daughter was born, I decided that last time that I didn't want to go through that again, looking at my daughter behind glass and having to see her like that.
Eventually the baby was born. He came 3 months premature. That was hard enough in itself, but right after that was an eviction notice.
I don't know, I just really had a hard time dealing with going into a homeless shelter, you know. I mean, I lived on top of the bottom for so long.
The poverty rate in St. Croix County is 4.7% of the population. 24% are female heads of households with children under the age of 5. 35% of these people are food insecure. That means not having enough food to meet their needs. 17% are food insecure with hunger and are skipping meals.
When I'm speaking in the community, one of the questions people always ask is, how do people feel when they come into a homeless shelter? I've been here 4 years. Every single time I do an intake with an individual, they feel like total failures. They feel worthless. When they come to Graceplace, we do try to provide and offer them hope.
In addition to emergency shelter for families and individuals, Graceplace offers a variety of services including emergency food shelf, free meals daily, budgeting classes, AA meetings, transportation for those seeking employment, Bible study, nutrition education, children's tutoring, which every child is required to attend, and a variety of one-on-one counseling services.
And we were left to where there was not going to be any more places to go or places to spend the night. I was to the point, I had a phone number in my hand. I was going to call Department of Health and Human Services. I was ready to turn, I was ready to turn my children over because I didn't think I could take care of them anymore. But I also had in my hand a list of numbers that the county had given me of people that might be able to help.
My life has changed tremendously since that first day I made that telephone call and talked to Dewana to ask if I could come stay here or if you had a bed for me. And I'd like to see a lot more people out there give chances, but you know, they get burned so many times. Taking a chance on somebody like me that, you know, it's hard for somebody to do it. Graceplace gave me a chance. They had no reason to give me a chance, you know. I don't know why they did it, and I scratch my head and I see the people that come in and out of these doors and stuff, and they're just a great bunch of people.
I called every number on that list and kept getting no answers. They either couldn't help me because I was a female, or they couldn't help me because I had children. And I got to the last number, which was Graceplace. And when I called, they took us in, no questions asked. They had room for us and gave us a roof over our heads so that we could try to figure things out.
Your support helps Graceplace keep our doors open so no family or individual in need is turned away.
I got my job, I love it. I'm still there after a year. I got my kids back now, and my sobriety is a year this Saturday on the 28th. I'm just overwhelmed, and I could never did this without the Graceplace.
I now have custody of my daughter, full custody. I'm working full-time now at a Better Meat shop at Econo Foods in Hudson. I was working in Red Wing. I've had a couple of times where money was getting a little tight and they let me use the food shelf.
I never knew that there was a place like the Graceplace in Somerset. If this place was not here, I don't know where I would be today.
But once I moved into Graceplace, they made it a lot easier for me. They provided help with finding someone to watch my children so that I could go find a job. They provided me with the newspapers and the job centers, phone numbers, anybody you could think of that would help me in the process of finding a job. And I did. I found one in my very first interview. I was hired. I've been there a year now, and I love my job.
Right now, I'm just so thankful that Graceplace is here, and it is for people to come and work out their situations and to get help. But Graceplace is a wonderful place. They showed me how to live again.
When you make a contribution to Graceplace, you do more than keep our doors open. You also change lives.
I cannot thank them enough, and it was an opportunity of a lifetime to come to a homeless shelter. I am now a so much better man than I used to be. I think I'm somebody that my daughter could be proud of.
We're happy, and I owe every bit of that to the people at Graceplace. Every bit of it.